This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. We're just hours away from the inaugural Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. Kickoff is at 12 noon tomorrow inside the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. And tonight, Kelsey Johnson has a look at the journey of the two teams who will be locking horns on the gridiron.
The journey to the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl was long and winding for both the Central Michigan Chippewas and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. After a disappointing 2013 season, the teams regrouped and came back hitting hard. Their prizes this time around was a trip to the Bahamas to play in the inaugural Popeyes Bowl.
Our guys definitely struggled early in the year, but in the middle of the year, I think we regrouped. We found a way to improve. We wanted to just try to find a way to take baby steps and get better each and every week. So about midway through the year, when we challenged our guys, I think they kind of started to mold together a little bit. They got better. We played 3 really good games on defense. That really helped us win.
The Hilltoppers are on a 4-game winning streak. One of their biggest win doing that run was against Marshall in an overtime thriller. As for the Chippewas, they've won 5 of their last 7 games played. To keep this winning streak alive, Dan Inyos, head coach of the Chippewas, said some early adjustments were made.
Certainly, we've done our best to try to anticipate being in this type of environment. We've practiced very hard when we were back in Mount Pleasant. We have an indoor practice facility. We're fortunate to have that. We had the heaters cranked up all night and all day, and actually had it up in the mid to high 80s in the indoor. And as I asked Titus on Sunday during our first practice, I said, "Is it warmer in the indoor or here?" He said, "Well, at least out here you can breathe." So they couldn't breathe in the indoor facility. So we've tried to do the best that we could. We conditioned and trained very hard.
Wide receiver Titus Davis credited the amazing offensive line for their work in regular season. He is confident that they would hold up tomorrow and that the defense will force the pocket to collapse on the Hilltoppers' quarterback.
You know, one thing about our offense is we're very deep, especially in the backfield. We have a lot of running backs that can take on, whatever we put in front of them. And Coop has done a tremendous job all year. He's taken over the offense, and he's been a great leader. And, that rubs off on all of us. Our O-line has been playing at an extremely high level. And, coming into this game, I think they've improved a lot, and we're looking for this to be a big game.
Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Total Sports.
Now, while Central Michigan and Western Kentucky are both focused on the big game tomorrow, they still took the time out yesterday to give back to some young, aspiring Bahamian football players. Julian Gibson has the story.
Western Kentucky and Central Michigan football players yesterday conducted a football clinic for Bahamian youngsters. It's all about giving back at Christmas time.
I know a lot of these kids aren't familiar with this sport, so it's good to show them some knowledge about the sport and the way it's played.
Try to have an impact on some of these kids' lives, get them more knowledge about football.
We're glad to be out here and show these kids some of the few things that'll help them improve their game, and hopefully it'll help them enjoy the game as much as we love the game.
I think it's a great opportunity to do this, and most of them are pretty good as is, even if they haven't had any experience.
And for the youngsters, they simply embraced this opportunity.
I feel it's a great opportunity for us to pursue our skills and do what we have to do.
Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Julian Gibson.
Now, also playing a big role with putting on the youth clinic was the Commonwealth American Football League.
It's a great opportunity for them to learn something or get involved in the game of football because football is such a vast sport that taking so many different athletes. You have the big, the small, the fast, the slow guys. They can all play football.
The Christmas season is usually very slow for night leagues around the capital. However, for a number of years now, Coach Anthony Swaby has taken full advantage of the free time by hosting an open gym for young ladies who are currently playing college basketball abroad.
Now, as a coach, I know the importance of them going back to school in some sort of shape and condition, especially come January. The season really begins, especially with the conference games. And, I don't want them to come home and rest and drop from what they've done during the year so far.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services